Now that you have seen that what is an operating system, what is an interface, let us just look upon functions and fundamentals of operating systems in a little bit more detail. We know that an operating system acts as a user interface. However, this is not where it stops. It performs many other functions also, like security, multitasking, which means performing multiple tasks at one time. Along with that, it does peripheral management and memory management. We will study about them in detail and get to know what exactly they are. First of all, let us look at how operating system works as a resource manager. Now, what exactly would be a resource? Basically, a resource is simply the services which the user is going to use. They have to be managed. The resource can be software or they can be hardware. Operating system would manage all these resources which are attached to the system. For example, memory, processor, all the input-output devices, etc. So what does it do? It manages time and allocates, which means it allows the use of resources effectively. For example, one user wants to use a printer which is being shared by 3 computers. The second user also wants to use the same printer. So what happens? Do they fight? No. The operating system at the back end, which is at the server side, simply checks the request time. If the first user who wants to use the printer puts up a request earlier than the second user, then that first user gets the priority. So on the basis of the priority of the demands of resources, the allocation is done. Operating system takes the tension of that, not us. Another performance and task which operating system does is management of storage. It defines how the data or the files will be stored into the computers and how the files will be accessed by the users. For example, if I create a file, that means I might use a Word document, type something on it, and I want to save it. So where exactly I want to save it, that is where the operating system is going to give me a choice about. And then I can use my own imagination and my priority to choose the directory. Directory is basically a collection of files. In order to create a directory, read files, write files, data on the directories, operating system helps us to do that. Not only that, it also allows to copy the content of the files and directories from one place to another. You want to move your data from your computer to a pen drive or to a CD. That means you're shifting it from one place to another. This is what operating system helps us in. Process management is another task. What is a process? Basically, it is a program which is in running mode. For example, you are watching this video. It is also a process because it is in the running mode right now. Even if you pause this video or stop it or close this window, still at the background there would be many processes which would be running which you do not know about. But whatever is in the working mode, as long as your computer is on and you see a desktop, you have processes running. Operating system creates the priorities for the users and also starts and stops the execution of the process. A page which is being printed is a process. A song playing on YouTube is a process. Moreover, if a very heavy game is being played, the operating system helps to divide the large processes into smaller processes in order to make work effective. Each small piece of process will take less time and less memory in order to be executed. This saves time, helps in faster working. Memory management is also done by operating system. The process by which computer programs are assigned memory or space, that is what memory management is. It includes processes like swapping, which is interchange, paging, pages, memory protection, and memory allocation. Let me just give you a brief idea about swapping and paging. Basically, sometimes some programs need processor earlier. So what happens? It is just like an emergency state in which a person who has been brought into the emergency room is given priority over the patients who are waiting in the general ward. Similarly, a process which has a higher priority, which requires emergency in order to be executed immediately, that process is swapped or interchanged with the processes which are already going on. This helps in faster execution of the process which has asked for services immediately. Memory needs to be protected. Memory needs to be allocated. Pages help in order to tell the computer that where exactly is the process, at what stage it is, and how much work more is required to be done. Just like your notebooks. You just put a slip in a notebook that this particular question is important. So whenever you will open it, you will first go to that important question. That question gets a priority over the questions which you might already be reading. You need to protect that notebook too. Operating system helps that.